a couple of things that I wanted to mention from some of the conversation which has happened today. So there was some discussion about people coming out of clinics and abusing people outside the clinics. That will be lawful. That will be lawful under this legislation. So there's a specific exemption for anyone who's employed by, or retained by, or working with any of the clinics. So they'll be perfectly able to go outside and abuse people. They won't be caught by the legislation that prevents harassment or abuse, etc. It's demonstrative to look at the only example we have so far of a fully litigated case, which is the case of Graham Preston and Mr. and Mrs. Stallard in Tasmania. They were standing in the vicinity of a clinic in Tasmania. They did not approach anyone. They weren't holding any signs which had horrendous images or anything of that kind. They were holding a sign with a quotation from the United Nations Rights of the Child statement, and they were approached by someone entering the clinic, and that person abused them. She said that they also had an image of a picture of a fetus, but not a aborted fetus. So she approached them. She criticised them for having a picture of a fetus or an embryo, saying that the picture wasn't life scale, which it obviously wasn't. And those people were motivated, it's very clear from the statement, by their religious faith. Not everybody who goes along to do these things is motivated for that reason, but those people were. They were elderly people, they weren't harassing anyone. If anyone was harassed in this occasion, it was them. But they were the ones that were prosecuted for being in that vicinity. And it's really the question of what Parliament really wants to achieve by legislation like this. Do we really want to criminalise elderly, nice people who are not otherwise unlawful, who are behaving in a way which they feel compelled to because of their conscience or their religious faith? Are they the sort of people we want to criminalise and put in jail or fine? I think the answer to that, to me, is quite obviously no. And that's what this legislation does. It turns ordinary people into criminals. Most of the people that have been caught in the legislation that exists around the country so far have been of that type. So elderly people or people who are quietly praying, not people or wanting to offer support. So we're not dealing with a crime wave of people abusing people, which might necessitate some specific legislation, as Anna Walsh indicated. We already have plenty of legislation in New South Wales to deal with particular circumstances. And why we should need special legislation for this particular situation, which would prevent the kind of help that Paul's doing, and prevent the counselling that other people provide, is very unclear to me.